8 minutes now before 9 o'clock. 78 degrees here at Broadcast Park. It's the WMT Morning Show for a Thursday. Andy Peterson is away. He'll be back on Tuesday. Coming in tomorrow in this chair from College will be Rod Pritchard, and he'll take you through the 5 to 9. I'm Jeff Stien from Wartburg College in the Archives of Iowa Broadcasting. It's been my pleasure to be here today. Alongside, imagine me gesturing to my left, is Lauren Squires from KWWL TV 7.
Hello.
Imagine me gesturing to my right, and Waldo is at the controls of... It used to just be a control board, but now it's computers and it's...
monitors and
things.
And the whole nine.
We've been making you work.
Keyboard back here just for another screen we're not even using today. So that's how complicated this can get.
In the old days, if you said there was a mouse in the control room, then somebody's setting traps, and now there's probably a half dozen of them, and we're clicking, and folks are emailing, and we're appreciative for all of you who are out there this morning, letting some of us do radio for the first time in Lauren's case.
That is correct.
Some of us doing radio again after a long time, in my case. We've had a great deal of fun this morning. If you were with us during the last hour, you would have heard Jim Bohannon from Westwood One talk about how things have changed with our political discourse. And just moments ago, Steve Brown joined us from the Fox News Channel Chicago Bureau, who followed the candidates around the Iowa State Fair last week. And this really is going to be an interesting political season. Also in there, and we wanted to mention this again, if you were with us in the 7 o'clock hour, you would have heard about a new book published by local company WDG Publishing. And it's called Rockwell Collins, 75 Years of Innovation, and tremendously reasonably priced, and it would make a great keepsake, a great gift. If you're interested in the Rockwell Collins book, you can either send an email for more information to this address, Collins Company Store at rockwellcollins.com. That's all one word, Collins Company Store at rockwellcollins.com. Or give them a call. The area code is 319-295-5995. 295-5995 for the Rockwell Collins book. And we also heard this hour from Trent Rice in Ames from our Clear Channel sister station, talking about how they're trying to recover from the flooding there. And Lauren, as a native of Cedar Rapids, that's an all too familiar story, as you recall.
Yes, very familiar. First thing I covered as a journalist for KWWL. So.
You know, I was thinking as we were putting together what to do for the program today, and I was thinking you were on the job there for less than 2 weeks, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I came on right after Parkersburg.
Right.
And then my first full week after training, I was covering the floods up there, and then slowly moved down here, and then to Iowa City eventually. So,
what's one memory that just jumps out from that period of flooding along eastern Iowa as a newly minted professional journalist?
Well, I just remember, I just started, and I was getting used to the daily grind of turning stories in a full day, because you had a lot of time to do that in college, and just having to come up with a story every day was not difficult, because there were so many stories to be told and not enough of us to tell them, that it was a constant turning of different stories, talking to different people, all having their own perspective and their own story. It really taught me that you can find a story anywhere, especially in times like that, and there's a sense of hope amidst all of that disaster that really kind of inspires and sort of made my job easier, because I talk to these people and think, you've just lost everything, and you're grateful for me, or you're grateful for your neighbors. You have all these perspectives that just change things.
And I think it's a uniquely Iowa or Midwestern thing, and maybe that's just parochialism on my part, but I know that a year ago, as we were putting together the book on the floods of 2008, and it wasn't just the videos that we had seen, but those still photos were just so full of impact, because again, with a still photo, and I love video obviously, but with the still photos you could really just take in a lot of the nuances that in real time you don't necessarily see. And of course we've seen flooding in this area again this spring. Lots of folks listening this morning have their own tales to tell from this year. But it's the resiliency, and I guess that's the thing that, as Steve Brown was talking just moments ago about Iowans and reviewing presidential candidates, we take this seriously, we take our responsibility seriously, and again it's sort of the spirit. And it's the spirit that gets us through floods and tornadoes and disasters that also, I think, makes it justifiable that we're first in the nation with the presidential caucuses.
And not to get all sappy, but I think it's also that very spirit that keeps us doing what we do as journalists, because we come across people on a daily basis that have that vigilance and continue to move forward when, I don't know if I could do it myself. So
It's certainly another day. It
Yes.
always is. Dow Jones Money Report is next, and then we'll wrap things up for Thursday on AM 600 WMT.
600 WMT Money News. Stocks are starting out modestly lower. This is the Dow Jones Money Report. I'm Jeff Bellinger.